Do you believe a heartbeat bill would be upheld as constitutional if it were passed?
A heartbeat bill, so you're saying when life is in conception.
That would be my understanding. This is an audience question.
All right. At the present time, I can give you my personal opinion, I can give you my legal opinion. At the present time, under Roe versus Wade, the United States Supreme Court has preempted that field of questions. Under stare decisis and the rules that we live under and we have to apply as appellate judges, is that when the United States Supreme Court gives clear direction, the Arkansas Court of Appeals is obligated to follow it. The Arkansas Supreme Court that I'm running for would also be required to apply it. So, right now, under the status of the law, I have some questions that I think it would be questioned whether or not it would meet the requirements under Roe versus Wade. If that be the case, no matter what my personal opinions are, and I can tell you that I believe when God gives you precious gifts, you ought to take care of them. But under the rules that we operate under, no matter how much you would want to do it, it would be an affront to that court, and they'd slap you down.
Okay.
And the next audience question is, how can the public trust be restored to our judicial system?
I think that we have to have judges who are accessible to the public. I can tell you right now, my telephone number is on my card. And you dial this number, you're gonna get me. And I'll answer and I'll talk to you about your concerns. My home number is listed in the book. It hasn't been changed in 38 years. So, my telephone number at work rings in my office, I answer it. So I think that how we have public trust is we serve you with integrity, and we serve you under the Constitution and the rules of law that have been passed by our legislatures, and I see one over there. You know, when I was practicing law one time, I said to myself, I got this stack of new legislation, and I said, boy, this is hard work, because I really worked hard having to read all this stuff. I wish they'd quit passing so many bills. I got down to the court, I know why they have to, because the judges can't read. You know, they'll pass the bill, and then, you know, we'll start pulling it, then we'll pull it back this way. So they'll pass another one, and they'll say, now this is specifically to answer and change the rule in a certain case. So we need more jurists in the courtrooms, and we need more statesmen in our state house.
Amen.
And that way we can have a more even government, so that businessmen know every day what the law's gonna do. I've owned a hospital. That's the most regulated industry in the world, in the United States at least. I've started a furniture factory. I know about those rules. I started a shiitake mushroom business. So I have been in business, and I have abided those rules, and I know how important it is to have rules that you can depend on. I started out representing banks, so I think that how we, number one, get faith in what courts do is we have to be transparent, and we have to act with integrity, and we have to keep ourselves from wanting to get everybody to march to our numbers. We need to listen to the people, and we need accessibility. To get in our building, I think you'd probably have to have a top circuit clearance. So I meet my folks outside and talk to them at the flagpole. Easier that way.
Judge Hart, what is your opinion on television in the courtroom?
I basically think that we need to be transparent. There is nothing that goes on in the courtroom that the public should not be entitled to walk in and see. If I make a ruling, whatever I do in that courtroom, I'm doing it for the people and as a representative of people need to watch me to make sure if I do something wrong, they can tell me about it.
Does the availability of the internet and social networking interfere with the judicial process, and if so, how do you combat that?
Could you repeat that?
Does the availability of the internet and social networking interfere with the judicial process, and if so, how do you combat it?
It doesn't with mine. I'm the proponent of the rule that all our briefs should be submitted blind, so that I don't know who the lawyers are, who the judges are, so that I don't have any of that in my head when I'm writing on my opinions. Somebody sends me an email, I wouldn't read it till I finish the case anyway. In our court, we get 6 cases a week plus 3 unbriefed cases, so we get 9 cases a week. First thing I do is read those from start to finish before I even talk to anybody about it. If I need additional research, then I get in. But I don't think, it would not affect me at all. Although in a campaign, I'm really appreciative of it because it's a good way to get a hold of people.
2 more questions, Judge Hart, and we'll let you off the hot seat. When do you feel it is necessary to recuse oneself from a case?
Anytime you don't think that you can give the party a fair and impartial. If you have any doubts on your ability to do so, and there's some people in this world that have done some great things for me, because, and I don't sit on their cases, I do not. Anyway, anytime I have financial interest with anyone, I would not sit on their case. But also, if I have a personal relationship with somebody, which it makes it difficult because the people who have helped me the most with this campaign, I'll never be able to sit on their cases. Not because I don't think I can treat them fair, not because I don't think they'd expect me to treat them fair, but because of the perception that people would have.
Who is the Supreme Court Justice, the U.S. Supreme Court Justice that you admire the most, and which one would you most like to be like?
Our United States Supreme Court?
Yes.
You know, I have my own judicial philosophy. I don't pattern after any of them. There's been some in the past that I have more respect for, but at the present time, as I look at them, you know, I can see situations that I will agree with Alita. Other situations I'll agree with another one. But I don't have any particular justice that I could say that gives me any warm and fuzzy feelings and makes me want to take them home with me and read them in the middle of the night. I'm telling you, I'm concerned about our Supreme Court.
You're allowed to name one from the past if you want to.
Well, I have on my nightstand a book by Learned Hand, but I'll tell you a judge that really warms my heart, and his name's Fairchild. And during the Civil War, he was on the Arkansas Supreme Court, and the Confederacy government shut down the courts and said there would be no writ of habeas corpus. Judge Fairchild said, no, you won't. And he went to work, and he was the judge, and he stayed with that. And we had court in Arkansas during the Civil War, and the writ of habeas corpus was there for the people. So probably if I was going to say that there's anybody I admire, it's Justice Fairchild, who was on the Arkansas Supreme Court. And I don't know if there's anything ever been written about him. But if I win this race, I promise I'll write something and let you publish it.
Sounds